What's up, Cancer? So we got the card description from a card that was pulled from the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck by Adriana Ayales, and then we got the actual reading itself. All right, and this particular card is Milk Thistle, and the subtext is Peaceful Warrior. Peaceful Warrior, Shield, Truth Keeper, Shelter, Sanctuary, Safekeeping, Justice. Native to the Mediterranean, the Greek physician and botanist Dioscorides was the first to write down milk thistle's healing properties in the 1st century AD. In the 1st century AD, milk thistle was a remedy for diseases of melancholy, assisted in production of breast milk, and acted as a powerful anti-inflammatory for the liver and gallbladder. Milk thistle's characteristics, violet fuchsia flowers and white veined leaves, are said to embody the Virgin Mary's milk. There are many magical rituals associated with this protective flower. Traditionally, flowers are thrown into fire to deflect. Traditionally, flowers were thrown into the fire to deflect lightning, and garments were woven with thistle fibers to protect the wearer from any spells. Dolls, puppets, magical tools were often stuffed with thistle to break negative depressive spells, melancholy, and evil hexes in Europe. Witches would make large vats of thistle to call in spirits. A bowl of thistle tea in a room is said to revitalize energy and bring strength and renew the spirits. Thistle was often planted in entryways to ward off thieves or parasitic energy. Milk thistle embodies the spirit of the fierce badger, and it's an aggressive healer known to rid the body of disease, poison, and toxic substances. Many Native American traditions associate the badger medicine with powerful medicine women, as badgers are some of the great protectors of earth medicine. Badgers act quickly and efficiently in a crisis, and they do not panic. Embodying the primal warrior elements of Mars, badgers fiercely find the means and courage to protect what's theirs, regardless of the consequences. Milk thistle also falls under the moon's rulership, as its galactagogue, meaning it assists in milk production along with assisting the entire gastrointestinal system. Milk thistle dispels the damaging and destructive thoughts that can induce an endless loop of self-sabotage. Abandon insecurity, gossip, and fear-based protection strategies that enable frustration or a false sense of growth. Do not waste your time trying to control what cannot be controlled. Like a peaceful warrior, set your boundaries firmly and fearlessly. Like the badger, milk thistle shakes up systems that hinder innovation and halts patterns and behaviors that stunt growth. Know that what you are not changing, you are choosing. Okay. I think so a few things came to mind. I'll say one. I think is I want to start with is the idea of the Greek physician and botanist Dioscorides. It wasn't him. I want to say it was Avicenna or Avicenna. That was like one of the most ancient like alchemists or something that came about and started studying a lot of things, and I got that guy in mind. And if you guys are particularly like thinking about something, if you kind of like if that strikes a chord with you, if you really feel like there is if you feel like there is very real wonder there, maybe that's a good place to really start understanding that there is room to pioneer. Right? We have an understanding of the world that is very much it's powerful, and it's powerful in certain ways, right? So we get a lot of what we have now. We're even just reading from the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck, right? All of these concepts around pharmaceuticals and this industry in general. We got this idea like, oh man, we're better than pharmaceuticals, and we'll try to like prop that up in any way we can in a lot of cases. And it's crazy when you think about the idea that pharmaceuticals are just extracting portions of of plants, of herbs, like that's all we have. Like, so it's kind of, it's a bit, it's honestly like, it's foolish. It really is, to think that we're doing better than nature. I just thought about like, there's like a clip of Bill Clinton saying, "Hey, we can do better than trees." He said some kind of stats for how much air trees can produce. He said we can do better than that, and I'm like, these people need to be studied, like legitimately studied, for just how crazy they sound. But this idea of milk thistle, I'm like, what I really first got was this idea that there is something that you guys need to understand with really the power and pioneering in these type of fields, and in general just pioneering, right? So, but in we have this power, we have this problem where we think that this is power, this is real power, what we're seeing today, the concepts that are surrounding today, and it's not. It's absolutely not, right? A lot of these guys, they get on stage and they are completely disillusioned with how intelligent and how much ability they have to philosophize about things, because and their proof of their intelligence and their ability to really just lead society is their money. And they don't understand that a sick society is rewarding you because it's a sick society, not because you have some kind of merit to lead, right? Like, actually, it might be the exact opposite. You might actually not. You may actually need to not lead if a sick society has rewarded you to the extent that it has, in Bill Gates' case. But in any case, I think you need to realize that this society now, we're realizing that a lot needs to change. A tremendous amount needs to change. And, there is, I feel like there's a toxic element to really the concept of power and looking and trying to gain and attain power in the world. But power by itself isn't really, it's not toxic. It's not a toxic thing, right? So, like, for instance, like, power in the health and healing field is more people being healed and staying healthy. Less people needing to go to emergency medicine. That is power. That's not like, we just have an element of power to where, like, once they step into the emergency room, we have an ability to somehow get them out of the emergency room, and it stops when they leave the emergency room. It is so ridiculous. It's very much ridiculous, and I think, honestly, future generations are going to look at us like the test subjects of this craziness that was taking place. But if you're looking for really just the ability, or the even the encouragement, which to really go forward and really pioneer something that really would be of value to a society and healing, this is definitely it. Go for it and try to understand, like, when you go for it, don't, like, I always say, make sure you, like, you want to start to baby step into it, okay? You don't want to just full-fledged go into one thing. If you haven't tested it and you haven't started to, build around it and build the networks around it, but start to kind of see how you can slowly enter into that world, right? Or steadily enter into that world. Okay, don't think that you can stay in this world where the sick society decides how to value people, what to value, and think that there's not going to be that you're not going to regret following your real dreams. Start to really look at that and understand how you can contribute to a society in healing. And this idea also, if you guys are kind of feeling like, I guess, if you guys have found yourself feeling like depressed, melancholy, or just kind of energetically or emotionally sick in any way, bodies of water are great. They do wonders for you. You can sit by, you can sit next to them. Practice feeling them in terms of, I know that sounds kind of like you're just kind of throwing a random ball at us, but this idea of, for instance, the energetic exchange that takes place between us and our environment is really more important than the actual the words we speak in a lot of cases. And so you need to understand that. So the idea of understanding that there is an energetic exchange and starting to tap into that world and build that almost, I guess we'll say, like, build the nervous system that actually understands and can appreciate the energetic exchange between you and trees, and you and the nature, and you and water. So you'll start to appreciate that a lot more. But bodies of water in particularly, I think, are going to be great. If there are any bodies of water, try to take time and just go out to that, and try to get around that. And if you can't find yourself getting around that, this is a piece of advice. You can get like a bowl of salt water, a bowl of fresh salt water, and you can start to feel the energetic exchange with that for sure. But you can also just sleep with the bowl under your bed. That may be good for you as well, right? That's a piece of advice I gave to Pisces, I think, on a few weeks ago. But I think that would also do well for you And in terms of actually understanding this idea of the world of the unseen and starting to tap into that, you should definitely take it seriously, and very seriously. This idea of not going back to this idea of not that this description it left off is, know that what you are not changing, you are choosing. This is a very powerful thing, okay? You need to change things. You don't need to depend on a sick society to tell you what is, and what is the standard that you're living up to, or whatever. Create your own standard. Create your own actual understanding of what health really is, and live by that. In any case, I will. I'm gonna end this here, and I'll see you next week. Have a good week.